we get so excited about days like today. It's a somber story, right? We get excited because
I am going to grab the trash can now so I don't forget it tomorrow.
The rest of the document,
Be right back.
The manifesto come out. And maybe more people will be emboldened by this so that they'll go and release that information so that you can have access to it and you can understand a little bit more about what's going on. This is what gets us up in the morning. We love it. And it's all because of you guys. Like the undertaking and this undercover unit is monumental. At the same time that we're building a network, is bringing in these people to do this undercover work. And it does come at a cost. Like when we say that they'll go to jail to protect the sources and that we'll go to jail, we mean it. Like, and that's a real potential threat.
Well, the last time it was just the trunk tank.
Well, that's different. And I bailed you out immediately.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just kidding.
Not immediately.
I let you stay overnight.
Yeah,
you better.
I learned my lesson.
No, but I was just telling, like, we love this kind of stuff because it can affect you. We really, really do. Sometimes we're talking about polls, talking about other stuff. It's important, and we need you to know this stuff, and that can affect some change, but it's a little bit more disconnected. This specifically can affect immediate change. Yeah, and that's good. So.
There was those days where
Welcome.
I was so tired that, like, I was just walking to the bathroom. I don't know.
Morning, Edwina. Jared.
My body just can't move at the speed you want it to.
Are you dreaming right now?
Yeah, sometimes it's the insanity of the world.
Yeah.
Like a backpack.
Yeah.
Wake up! Ah, what?
Literally.
Just, I think it's just when your neck thinks so. So we'll take some more chats, I guess, here. This is
The process.
Yeah, the process. So the process, as far as Mud Club Undercover. So last week, Mud Club Undercover, right, the team sort of received a vague tip through the Proton mail that you guys nailed out, LOBC. An anonymous source regarding this Nashville sort of school shooting manifesto. Our Mud Club Undercover team reached out to that source, and they started building trust as they do, vetting the source, going through the process.
You don't know at all. They could just be fame-seeking. They could be.
And there are a lot of people right now who are just they're recirculating things, and they go, "Hey, I want to be on because I have a book, our name radio show in Schenectady." By the way, if there's a guy who has a radio show in Schenectady who reached out, it's not you. It's just figured it.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sure it's a great show.
Keep up the work.
So they were able to, then build trust with the source, which is important because lies people. I understand why they might be gun shy. I mean, for crying out loud, if this person has any connection to the Nashville, you just saw that they're not being straightforward.
No.
So within 24 hours, 2 of our undercover journalists, they were on the ground in Tennessee to verify the source and the images provided physically, in person. So then we go through the verification, right? This is what they did. They met with that source who gave the manifesto, leaked it, okay? They reviewed the original text message, which had the picture of the manifesto. Then they read through the text, verifying the chain of events from the insider at the Nashville PD, again, as well as cross-referencing with the source. Then they had to do that they had to search, reverse phone number search,
to make sure it tied in.
Search, to make sure that it tied in, to verify the phone numbers involved, to verify the players involved, and verify that it would lead to the Nashville PD. So it's something that happens. People have to go out physically, fly out, meet with this person. Sometimes it takes days. We have a few other lines out there right now that we can't talk about, but they actually make this look like child's play as far as their impact on a large scale. But I think this is important because it's something that you all know and you can verify. Right? This is something that people out there can go, oh, I know that shooting happened, and I know we all wanted that manifesto, and I know we didn't get it. Well, there you go. So we just ask that next time when we tell you, hey, there's something big coming on the pike, hopefully we've earned your trust, just like we earned the trust of the sources, and we will keep them anonymous.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah.
I think you might be doing something else. I mean, I think if you guys are the ones breaking this, legacy media goes, man, this is going to come out eventually anyway, because people like Crowder are going to find it. So we may as well release it.
We just don't.
It's like, whether you know it or not, you might be keeping the corporate media honest. They might be going, hey, we can't. They got to us first.
How do we get scooped?
Last.
Oh, that's right. We're all pussies.
Yeah, they're a bunch of pirates.
Well, there are people right now going that had this information, most likely sent to them and said, hey, I've got this information. Like, I'm not going to mention that I got that email.
No.
They don't want to be the person that passed.
Yeah.
Just do the due diligence and see. And I don't know why you wouldn't want, publicly. I get it if you're really, really close to this situation, but that's why, unfortunately, these issues can't be decided by people that are too close to it because they can't obviously see beyond their own personal, real, very challenging concern. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But this stuff has to be out there. Like, we have to be able to understand, especially when it goes to motive on something like this, the potential for ongoing threats, the potential for identifying future threats. Like, this can't just be an inside baseball kind of thing. It's actually, by keeping it out of the media, it's what gives rise to even further conspiracy theories around things like this. Like the Las Vegas shooter, I've heard so many theories about that because they haven't released any information. They haven't been forthcoming with all of the details. Like, you're telling me a guy took up like an entire armored division's worth of munitions?
Yeah.
In one of the most heavily cameraed places on the planet in Las Vegas, and nobody saw it?
Yeah.
What the hell? Is this a magic trick that this guy got it up there? So I understand why people are asking these questions. Just be honest with us. Our institutions have to do a better job of that. Otherwise, we're never going to trust them. And look, we don't trust them right now.
Yeah.
They've got to go way above and beyond just to get our trust back, and they're not even being baseline honest.
Or, for example, people go like, "Oh, the Hunter Biden laptops are." You know what's most concerning is the FBI knew it was true
For a long time.
For a long time, they knew it was true,
information that it wasn't.
and they allowed the throttling anyway.
Well, it wasn't. It was. They reached out to Zuckerberg and said, "Hey, we think you're going to get some FBI." We said Russia, right? Yeah, we think you're going to get some Russian propaganda on this. Just be on the lookout. The laptop thing comes out, and they're like, "Hey, that's got all the hallmarks of the Russian stuff we told you about." Remember? It's like they were playing for the same team,
Right.
Because they seem to have been playing for the same team.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's not just that they suppressed it; it's that they saw it coming and tried to have an excuse for it pre-planted in your mind, so that when it did come out, you'd be like, no, that's what they were talking about. That's not-
You literally get a sense that these people in these institutions are going, we got the truth, don't mention it. Right?
Yeah,
Gee,
yeah,
so what's the story we're running with?
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. That's
They're-
what it feels like. You cannot mention, you cannot talk about, when you can't talk about transgender activism or just anybody who's going through this process of transgenderism and mental illness, you cannot correlate those two without getting kicked off. We got a real problem.
Real big.
That's
like a reverse
that's where
paper
the enemy
boy.
is. You got to figure out what
Extra, read nothing about it.
nothing to see here.
Wait, do you mean to tell me that there's no story behind the shooting? Why, certainly.
Just ads.
Yeah, and we all know it. We all know it, but you know that the danger, Gerald, to your point, is like when you start playing ball because it's economically advantageous. When you start not speaking the truth because to speak the truth would be financially costly. Well, then how do you find yourself?
This is one of those things that hey, you can share. We'll have some promotions, not only just right now, but you can send it along to your friends, Undercover Mug Club. But I guarantee you this will be costly for us. As not just this, but as we continue to undertake these operations. If it was just business, I've always said this is unlike, it's kind of ironic. A lot of these other places have these huge 501c3s, a couple billionaire donors. We don't. We run a business. But then a lot of these places with nonprofits, they say, it's just business. We've always been very clear. This is business. This is not just business. What we have done today makes no business sense. But hopefully it makes enough sense to you that you support it, so we don't have to make decisions based on just business. Let's grab some chats.
All right, here's a question from Stu P. Dasso. Oh, I get it. How long?
Hey, now.
How long do you think it will
That's
take
that's pretty
for the officials to release the manifesto?
You mean like the cops?
Yeah.
And the FBI? And
It's-
them? They'll probably say, well, now that you screwed up our investigation, what investigation? Are there any other people of interest? Subject?
Right.
No.
Is there a connection to Iran or something? I mean, what is the international affair?
This little old thing? Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Oops.
that manifesto.
Oh,
Come on.
my Roomba does this thing where it keeps knocking over the coffee table, and it's where I keep most of my manifestos.
Pesky Steven Crowder with his sore neck from carrying that invisible cross everywhere.
And then, and that damn Roomba.
How that damn
Never
Roomba.
learned.
I should have gotten the LG equivalent, because then my manifesto table would be safe.
You guys would have done this a long time ago.
This has got Crowder's dirty fingerprints all over it.
Hey, in positive news, I saw the Paw Patrol film.
You did.
Other ones. The villain was a black lady, which really surprised me. They nailed it. There were also good people who were. It was mixed race, but they had a variety of races in both the good and bad camp.
Well, and the mayor is white. He's bad.
Yes, and very gay.
And very gay.
Really?
Yeah. Loves cats.
So he's a very gay.
He seems very gay. He talks like this.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
Never seen with a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why someone who's that old, he's a very old gay witch.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a druid.
Yes, exactly.
And I've lost my vocal power.
But I watched it, and I will say this. It's almost okay. How many Simply Safe or whatever it is, Ring doorbell, all the alarm system? It's a white guy with a hipster mustache, kicking in the door. Like, I'm just saying there should be both good and bad people of all races. And you
Morning,
never see it.
Oklahoma.
Whenever you see
I'll be
a
right
black
back.
person
Gonna
in
get some
film,
gas and something to drink.
They have to be a good guy, unless
Or
like
they
a
died
supervillain.
first.
Yeah.
One of the two.
And in this one, there were a bunch of people between me and my dad. So we were sitting there watching, of course, with kids, and we saw this black lady in the film, and it turns out that they were a villain, and we both leaned over, and went like,
What? Equal opportunities here.
yeah. So
That's progress.
I don't know if the officials will release anything. Here's the lesson here today.
We've come a long way when cartoons have black villains and we have black bird watchers.
Yes, we do.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When you think of bird watcher, you think of white person.
When a black person has a good year, as it were, as a bird watchers, that means I don't know what percentage you have to reach if it's all the birds in the whole wide world.
Yeah.
But a good year is a term for bird watching.
I don't see color.
Yeah, but they do because they're bird watching.
Right.
You would have to, otherwise you wouldn't be able to identify the different species.
Yes. So
yeah. Oh, it would seem that black Americans would translate to bird watching well pigeons.
Well, that's Mike Tyson.
No,
No,
that's
more
very
than just
common in
Mike
black
Tyson.
areas. Go out to go to Bed-Stuy back, they had pigeons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, that's a productive way to use your energy as opposed to bites. If you're in a port, go have some homing pigeons.
Yeah, better than cockfighting.
Yes.
As
But
I
that's
always
Mexican.
say.
Also, yes.
It's a southern thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Brought over by the British, everybody.
Yeah.
So is pit bull fighting.
Yes.
Well, actually,
Damn whites.
dog fighting in the old country in Europe was very, very different from what we turned it into here today. I'm not saying that I support any of it, but I'm saying that when people think dog fighting, like they used to do bull baiting, right? The dogs were not going to the death. They'd pull them apart, and the dog would often live with the family, where it wasn't like electrocuting them in bathtubs like we saw with Michael.
Trying to get a pit bull off a bull's nose is a bitch, though. You need a breaking stick and.
I don't know. I'm not familiar in the ways of
Because you're
bull
not a
fighting.
man.
I don't know about
My
bull
son.
baiting. Well, think about how we've ruined bulldogs.
Yeah.
Bulldogs, they used to do bull baiting, right? They have to run like
Yeah.
Churchill's dog. That was really a classic bulldog where they would run up, grab it, right? So that then you could take out the bull. Those bulldogs now are just gonna get stomped. They have no chance in hell.
no, no, no.
They can't even sleep without a CPAP.
Got skin problems and everything.
It's just horrible.
No,
Also,
It's a special diet.
also, some broad can stick its thumb up its ass at Westminster. Like, what have you done to these dogs? All right. So I think the lesson here today is you have to force the officials. If they do anything, it's because of you here today. And I don't know that they will. Let's grab another chat.
All right, another chat from humongous whatever. Question for Stephen and the crew with the rise.
Humongous tits.
There you go. Thank you.
No,
So,
Hugh Mongestitz.
Yes, Mongestitz.
I've heard it both
Mr.
ways.
Mongestitz.
Yes.
With the rise in random violence and seeing the obvious agenda of anti-white propaganda, what steps can we take to repair racial divisions in this country?
You know what? Systemically, there's not a whole lot you can do. You can have your your legislators and your state legislatures look to do what Florida did as far as teaching these pernicious, these evil ideologies to children, teaching them to hate, and that's what it is, teaching them to hate someone for an immutable characteristic. Ironically, which is what YouTube says you can't mock or make fun of. You should be able to make jokes about immutable characteristics. You shouldn't be able to hate someone because of them. So there's that, and then we do black and white and the gray issues. We do change where anyone who's willing to sit down, we talk about it. I just think you talk to everyone as though they are people and talk about these issues that matter early and often. And I will tell you this isn't just lip service. I have had far more Black Americans who are receptive to the points of view that we espouse here, like patriotism, the idea of freedom, the idea of strong families, the idea of gender roles, than I have white Americans.
Yes.
They really are the moderate wing of the Democrat Party today. Now, not the black activists who you see on CNN,
Yeah.
but go try and explain to someone, just go to South Dallas, for example, an area that would be largely black, and see if you can get enough people in one place, enough Black Americans to espouse gender ideology. It won't happen. And you'll certainly get, if a few people do it, you'll get enough people telling them to shut up that they're out of their mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's every time you can have a conversation, you have to do it, even if you're tired.
Yeah, and we don't have to guess. We know the answer to this question. Like, we lived it. Our childhood was filled with progress in this department, and it's because we called racism.
And progress being, I'm sorry.
But we didn't say that some groups could be racist and others couldn't.
Right.
We didn't put a group out there of people that were taking from you, and the only reason that you're not making it in life is because of these white cisgendered men. You know, that we saw in the 90s, like race relations were improving dramatically.
We even acted like Urkel was hot when it turned into Stefan.
We did.
Well, a lot of it's just holding. This is going to sound radical, but the radical, is what we've lost is holding everybody to the same standard, weight, and treating everybody as an individual. What?
Because when that happens, the biggest shows being the Cosby Show, but before that you have the Jeffersons, then you have Fresh Prince when we were growing up. Family Matters was. Let's just. Do you have any idea how many white shows were on TGIF?
No.
At one point, maybe Boy Meets. But you want to say that Step by Step was bigger than Family Matters?
No.
You want to say Sabrina the Teenage Witch was bigger than Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? I get that I'm mixing networks now, but the point remains. And then you have Will Smith for years was the biggest film star. You had a point in this country where the most recognizable people on earth: Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, Will Smith, one of the most beloved actors when they would have Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington. Americans really, we are the only nation. You see this a lot in boxing and MMA. You go to Brazil, doesn't matter if you're a white American, if you're a black American, doesn't matter. They chant in Portuguese how they're going to kill you when they're supporting their country. In the United States, we will cheer that same person who had a chorus of how they were going to kill you when you were in Rio. We will cheer them here in the United States against our countrymen, who, by the way, may be white, just because we individual. We're the only country that really does that consistently.
Because the playing field is equal. When you have an equal playing field, I don't know why people don't talk more about when we talk about MMA. Women in MMA are competing on the same skill level with the same ferocity and intensity as men in a lot of cases. A lot of times when women fight in MMA, it gets a huge male audience. And that, I wonder if, does that push women's rights? Does that change the hearts and minds of a bunch of bros like myself and everybody else? How does that happen? When you basically show guys like me that women can fight with the same ferocity. That's kind of an exciting development.
Same ferocity, but not upper body strength.
Not upper body strength, but
knockout.
But a manifesto, a book on feminism isn't something I'm going to pick up and read while hanging out and discuss with my buddies. But I'm going to watch women fight.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I want to watch women play beach volleyball, but the point remains.
The point remains that violence solves a lot of things.
Yeah. And bikinis.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
How do we?
I love it.
Oh. Yes. We're about to say something, Joe? We'll take another shit.
Really quickly, I just wanted to kind of button this point up. Like,
Bikinis.
not all. No, those don't have buttons. I don't think.
They're not?
I say button this point up. You're creating racism by doing it the way we're doing it. Right? Yeah. Where it didn't exist, because you tell a black guy who hey, that's it's not personal responsibility. It's nothing that you need to do about this. It's the white man. So he's like, well, hold on, I didn't even know that. Okay, white guys are bad. And then you tell a white guy, no, you can't have what you've earned because you're white and you had too much privilege, and you take it away. And it's like, person over here who didn't earn it, but because they're black, Hispanic, Asian, whatever, we're going to give it to them. You've created the friction between the races just for voting. That's just for power. That's it. We were doing a great job of getting rid of it, and then you guys ripped it. Thanks, Barack Obama and the left. Like, supposed to be the most healing president.
He stuck his shitty, allegedly biracial nose in on the Hamas-Israel thing, saying that we're all responsible and creating an equivalency. It's like, oh, thanks for coming back in and sowing division one more time, Barack Obama.
Out the door.
Oh my God. Yeah, like, no, the occupation. Just shut up.
Yeah, what did you do about it? President, you had both houses of Congress. Did you act? Maybe go off your record, not maybe what you want to chirp in from the sidelines now.
Pedophile.
Probably.
Hey, wait.
There's a good chance.
Rumors.
Yes.
Rumors.
Yes, pedophile now.
I'm kind of starting. All right, let's grab a chat.
All right, from Serpentor, question for the crew: how would you best address the root cause for these shootings? Spiritual, mental health. Providing extra armed security is just treating the symptom.
Nope. It's understanding reality.
It's interesting.
And I'm not talking about armed security necessarily. I'm talking about arming people who want to have access to a firearm in a safe way that have the proper training to your child. That's what I'm talking about. Let's not conflate the issue. I'm not talking about armed guards that you have to pay tons of money to. I'm talking about a teacher right now, probably in your school district, who would raise their hand, had military service, served in a police force, some kind of capacity, is a gun enthusiast,
Or a concealed carry permit, I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. The concealed carry permit holder, who's 8 times less likely to commit crime than police officers, wants to protect themselves and your children, and probably your children more than themselves. I mean,
We could
That's
also
what I'm talking about.
we could also go back to a time when this stuff wasn't happening, when mental illness wasn't where it was, and maybe this is going to sound crazy, but just kind of figure out what was going on then and try to replicate some of that now. That would be considered race.
I think it's
far right.
Well, I think it's purpose. I think it's purpose. You know, I did sit down-
family structure.
Yeah, purpose. And you said this
Standards.
before. Actually, I think you were the one who put it very succinctly. Where the way to gain self-esteem is by getting really good at something.
Yes.
And I sat down and I spoke with her and it changed my mind. It was a girl who I believe was, I don't remember if she was partially blind or hearing impaired or both.
Hearing impaired.
It was hearing impaired? Okay. What? Yeah, I said, yeah. Sorry. I sat down with her and she was pretty much what you would consider woke on everything. But we were able to actually have a conversation, even though we disagreed on a whole lot. And she did say that, yeah, there's more anxiety. And I said, well, that is one thing. Why is there so much more anxiety? And why, compared to the greatest generation, the silent generation, compared to those people who went out and fought wars, why would there be so much anxiety with people? And she said it's because the for example, bullying or the pressures are chronic. So with social media, you don't have the off switch where you can go home and have a safe haven, safe refuge. And I do think that's a significant portion of it. And I think when you combine pressures that are chronic, and they are devoid of any type of godliness, anything that's whole, that actually has meaning, you just end up with a place where people feel as though they're having to meet these superficial standards.
That's right.
And the bullying is done. And by the way, just to be clear, transgender ideology is very superficial. It's very, very superficial. It's yet another way. It's Instagram ass models. That's superficial.
Yeah.
That's skin deep. Just like fat pride, it's not skin deep. I mean, it's deep into your heart. In other words, you're going to have health problems. But that also is superficial. And then how you present to the world with gender, that's superficial. And we act as though that is what determines somebody. That is what identifies who someone is, as though your soul is entirely determined by your gender.
Your inner feeling.
Right. And then we say, and all paths lead to God. Well, hold on a second. No. Neither of those things are true. We dismiss what we placed a great importance on. We're in community today. We talk about mental health. Look, I don't think that when you just... Why do we have an entire generation of people, certainly COVID exacerbated it, but who all have some self-identified malady when they're talking about their mental health? And by the way, the terms now that are being used and thrown around a lot, gaslighting, narcissist, this is the new term that someone tries to throw on. It's like people can't just have a bad relationship. So everything has to have this label, and everyone wants to try and play like they're a psychologist themselves so that people feel as though they're empowered to self-diagnose, to diagnose others. And it's vapid and it's superficial, and we're telling people to value all the wrong things. This is a problem with feminism too. For example, we said, hey, young women aren't being represented enough in film. We need to empower young women. And we said the problem was, look at all these action stars. They're men. So rather than empower women in a feminine way, we say you could be just as good as the guys at being a guy. That's superficial and it's wrong. There are a lot of things that make women different and beautiful, and things so many women can do. Women are better at quite a bit than men, and men are better at quite a bit than women, but they try and empower women through telling them and portraying them as though they can be better men than the men are. And when you say that men and women are fundamentally interchangeable, and you're doing that by not accurately acknowledging the positive attributes of both sexes, the differences and the shortcomings, then you're a nation doomed to fail, because people just aren't being honest with themselves. I think we are really at a point. It comes down to this. Used to be, if you were being raised, and let's take your parents. So your parents.
Oh, look at the blue line.
They were raised by people.
Look at the blue line. A couple of them there.
This is a work ethic.
This has got to be
this is how a woman treats
a beaten wife here.
School. This is what you need to do if you want to find a man. If you want to keep a man, this is what you need to do, son. If you want to find a good woman, if you
Durango.
want a good
So
wife,
let me guess.
if you want a job,
Let's
if
see.
you want to have the respect of other men.
Oh, no, or is it the piggy
Someone
himself?
was raised with that.
It is the piggy himself.
And then they screwed up. At least they knew why. At least they had a trail of breadcrumbs right out of the forest. Oh, wait, I didn't do that. I got off the trail. And that would not only provide them with purpose, but at least some hope because there's a solution to their problem. But if you're simply meandering and someone is saying, hey, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, no, you don't. Oh, you want to go? You shouldn't have to pay your student loans. You can be whatever gender you want. Yeah, you're a girl too. Oh no, wait, you're gender today. You're Aiden yesterday, and you're Audrey. Sure, that's fine too. Yeah, we can undergo hormone. Yeah, sure, absolutely. You're not old enough to drive, but you're old enough to make these decisions. And then you reverse those. Hey, yeah, absolutely. Everything is just as valid as the next thing. At a certain point, when you find yourself at an intersection of life where I'm not getting what I want out of life. I'm not.
Almost 70 degrees today, 68 degrees supposed to hit today.
And so,
at the house
to make
anyway.
people feel good about
I don't know about
themselves
Monroe.
at every single moment in time, we've now made them hopeless.
Since there's a
Hope
piggy up here.
can only exist
Oh, he's got somebody already.
with a future. And a future, by the way, hope usually means victory, usually means a better outcome, usually means improvement. You can't have hope if you have told an entire generation of people that there is no victory, that there is no improvement, that everything is the same, that everything matters and nothing matters. And I think that is the root cause of the problem. And yeah, as a Christian, it's a God-shaped hole that you can't fill any other way. That being said, even if you're not a Christian, from a pragmatic point of view, telling young people from the moment they're able to understand the language, that there's right, that there's wrong, that there are certain fundamental principles by which you live if you want to be successful, and listing what success is, that's foundational. And that doesn't exist anymore. So we have a bunch of people lost in the woods with no trail of breadcrumbs going, I would ask for hope, but I don't even know what that looks like because I've been told it's all the same. I think that's our foundational issue. And it's certainly not being improved by the media, the entertainment industrial complex. I hope that today we've given you a little bit of hope, and we'll be able to continue doing it in the future. We'll do it as long as you're around. See you tomorrow.
Good shit today. So if anyone's actually still listening, hello, Gregory. Oh, let me fix you on this channel. There you go. So, yeah, they released the manifesto today, the Nashville manifesto. They got leaked. Crowder leaked it. You got the scoop, as they say. It's like 3 pictures of it. But apparently there's tons more information. It's just, there's like journals and stuff and diaries. If you're on X or / Twitter, go check it out. It's probably still trending #1 right now. Not that that's a reason to withhold it. Wow, it's early.
We need to build our same, like, no, we're not with, out there running around with flags in the streets and flipping cars over, but we are creating another community of ideas, of progress, of self-actualization, of energy engagement, connecting with people, learning things, taking, like, this is a buffet, joining us through the journey, picking some things that you like, integrating it to your life, things like that. But yeah, I constantly watch these people. And I'm constantly looking at it and saying, what's effective that they're doing that we can pull off and integrate here? Good comment, Jeremy. We're on it. NY says, you won't see them. I think we will. Have a reckoning and realignment. Representative Waters and her ilk. Oh my God. Lisa Rubin is doing good coverage on Twitter, on X. What's up, sweet potato? I was thinking about you. We were talking about sweet potatoes. Hey, LAR's here. Says Trump win. Hey, KB. I put that. Thank you. Hey, Zach. Also here. What's up, Zach? Hey, we got some no-nos in the house. What's up, NY? Says I'm planning on volunteering salary-free. Trump is going to need our help. Well, that's awesome, NY. I think you're right about that. I think that we're going to need to get engaged, and I'm planning like next year. all in. Like I'm talking to my coaches about it. Like we're planning right now. You know, we're like, okay, 2024 is all in. I quickly wrote out my kind of a life plan for the next 12 months. You know, what is the singular focus? And we've got 2024 election wave focus, trials. Like that's it. Because we need to keep the energy up for the next 12 months. As of like today, like 12 months, it's go time between now and the next election. So we got to keep the energy up, stay connected, and then we can rest when we're done. Kelly R says, Trump wins. Insert more agitators into key positions. That's their plan, and it worked unfortunately. Sounds doomer. Sorry. So in other words, if Trump wins, they'll just put a bunch of billboards in there somewhere. Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. I think that they will certainly try. I think it'll be hard to review this time, personally. And I think that the policy decisions that Trump will make, I'm hopeful, will be much, much more overt. Like he just makes decisions that they really can't undermine. Like this, and this is done. All fired. Whatever it looks like. So it's harder to undermine. But they are sneaky and nefarious people, and so you're right.
So apparently this Mustang, this electric Mustang here,
and NY says
they're calling it an SUV.
We will have a reckoning and realignment. Representative Waters and her help.
Funny.
Good doctor over on the locals. Yeah, it's going to be a spicy one. Rob, they used a clip of you in the Frontline documentary on Elon Musk and the Twitter files. That's cool. Just shout out to those guys. Thanks for including. That sounds fun. I haven't seen that. Steven Crowder's trending like mad on X. Better cover it if you haven't. Well, I mentioned him. I'm not going to cover Steven Crowder trending, but he had an amazing story on the Tranifesto, I think, is out. So if you're missing that, definitely go check that out if you're interested in that story. I'm willing to work for Trump, but I can't do it for free, says JC. Bonnie says the most expensive heating oil was $2.59 a gallon with Trump. Now $7.95 for Biden. Wow, last was $49 a gallon. Amazing. Yeah, JC says good point. I'm not advocating for doing what they call mostly peaceful violence. Yeah, definitely not. It says I only heat the master bedroom only in the evenings. I moved to the computer in the master. It saves me on the electric bill. It's cold in the mountains of Arizona. Last January had single-digit temps. Yeah, Arizona doesn't get cold. That desert weather, that desert chill, man, it does get cold. Also gets hot. We do get a little coldness. NY says front line was surprisingly middle of the road. Interesting. I'm gonna have to check that one out. Donna says, yeah, heating oil is outrageous. King Ginger says the manifesto is full of the leftist bingo words that you expect. Not a surprise. Dre says I'm a black man saying this. General Milley, you know what white rage is? Being called racist and not being racist. Yeah. You know what white rage is? It's being called racist and not being a racist. And I hear you. They just throw that word around like it's meaningless, you know. And like there is actual racism in this world, but not everybody is an actual racist. In fact, you know, most people that they claim are. And that kind of diminishes the real, like they just water down everything and makes everything meaningless. But okay, my friends, so let us leave it there. It is a beautiful, beautiful Monday. We're excited to be back. We're going to have a jam-packed week. I can just feel it in my bones. And so today, we're going to start off with the Trump trial, right? He is testifying like right now. It sounds like the thing is going off the rails a little bit. So we'll get up to speed on that. We'll see what's happening there. I think there's also some Florida updates as well. There's also, I think, a Minnesota election ballot removal trial that I'm going to look at and dig into. Also have that interesting one on the J6 story. And there will be some more percolating, but I don't think we have a Colorado trial today. So I think that's done in order with. So we might have some rulings on that. We'll see. But it is a fresh new week. We love ripping it open, popping it open, so that we can get out there and get after it. And so, my friends, thank you for joining us on the morning stream. Zach Nichols, thank you for the reminder. So, watch Arizona doesn't change our time. I don't know why everybody else does, but it's still the same time here. Okay, we're not changing anything. And so, unfortunately, what that means is that the show will adjust. So, the evening show, I think, is going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern time. I'm here at 3. I'm here at 3 my time. I think it's 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, maybe? I don't know. So it's 3 p.m. Arizona time. And so then I think it's going to be 5 p.m. Eastern time or something. I'm not sure what it is, but we'll get it scheduled. I'll get it scheduled a little earlier than usual so that it's anchored in there. I'm really bad with the time changes, so it's going to be confusing for probably like a month until I figure it out. But that's going to be the schedule. We're sticking with Arizona time, so I think it bumps up early on the other times. Access 4 p.m. Eastern time. So
no, 5 p.m.
All right, we'll figure it out. We'll get it all scheduled. NY says Minnesota, the judges seem skeptical, especially during the primary, especially since a convention can cause a party to get a straight liberal one for the president. Yeah, it's going to be curious to see what they do. And I still think like the state legislatures might be able to do something. Like, what if the state legislatures held their own like J6 committee inquiry and found that Trump was an insurrectionist that mirrored the federal path, you know? Okay, so my friends, we'll be back. It's going to be a beautiful Monday. It's going to be a busy show tonight. And so until then, we'll see you tomorrow. But everybody, have yourselves an amazing Monday. Get out there and accomplish whatever you're setting your mind to. We'll see you back here in a few hours. Make it a great day, my friends. See you soon. Bye.
So everything's going to be earlier now. So we'll be listening to Rob, Revolution Record. Yeah. So is this the last time that we're switching times, supposedly? I don't want to be behind this gas truck. So CVS is sending my son, a 30-year-old healthy man, a reminder to go get his COVID vaccine. Yeah, I know it's all everything's on the standard settings here on this channel, Jared. This is just for fun on my secondary channel. Like I said, for the most part, this is going to be my driving channel. Yeah, no jab zone. He sent me a screenshot of it. They texted him 3 times today about it. Same fucking message. He's like, "What? How do I make these messages stop?" I said, literally, reply stop. I said, wait a minute for them to reply back, acknowledging it, and then tell them to fuck off. Yeah, that's the smart son. That he avoided the jab. Hi, unindoctrinated. Thank you for getting out of the way. Are Hurt Detroit distributors? I wonder what they distribute. Cheese food specialties. Okay. They got the cheeses. There's a cop up ahead. Where do I get my 50 back? Cool. No, I still have. Pretty nice day today. It's actually supposed to rain this afternoon, but it's supposed to be nice and warm today anyway. Upper 60s. If you guys haven't read it or heard it read yet, go check out the Twitter page. I posted a copy of the Nashville Manifesto. Where's this guy gonna go? There's this guy next to the truck up here. He's fucked. He's gonna have to gun it. Woo! Cutting it close. Where you going, you fucker? Laying you in. Yeah, he's fucking fading off the road there. So the high school I went to, still undefeated this year. They are heading into the state quarterfinals. It's weird though. It was their last regular season game. They beat an undefeated team, and that's who they're meeting again. The good news is they beat them 44-0, but it's hard to beat the same team twice in one season. So we'll see. So my high school has outscored their opponents 535-67 this year. They have a quarterback. He's a junior. He is a 5-star junior. He's going to declare after the season's over with. Well, probably early spring when they normally do it. Michigan is one of the schools that he's looking at. Of course. Only thing about that is Michigan is only like University of Michigan's only like 25 minutes from Belleville. Most kids when they go to college want to be away from the parents. Although freshmen, I think they have to live in the dorm anyway, so at least that was a rule when I was that age. And I'm sure if he's playing football there, he would have to be away from home anyway. So that's exciting. Getting my ass kicked in fantasy football this week because I had 3 players on bye weeks and I wasn't about to dump a bench player for a defense or a kicker. Not that it really mattered. The person I played actually wasn't that good, but had the best week of their season. Their quarterback had like 40-something points. Look at CJ Stroud. What do you have, like 5 touchdowns? Yeah, usually at big universities, it's like that. They require that at least for the first 2 semesters or something like that. I mean, he'd be on a scholarship anyway, so yeah, I think if you're on a scholarship, you have to be in the dorms too. Athletic scholarship anyway. Apparently, the kid had a pretty GPA though, which isn't too hard to do in public school. He's a senior. You got lots of schools there in Carolina. I went to a very small university. for a year. Then I quit the wrestling team and lost my scholarship. It was a D2 school in the mountains, West Virginia. We drove right by there when we went to that music festival. Beautiful area. UT's in the mountains? Why am I not hearing anything? Oh, it's because it stopped. That's why.
Okay.
Oh, Tennessee. Sorry. I automatically thought Texas. I was like, what? I don't know why I didn't think of that. You're right there by Tennessee. Shit. Man. I just paid $3.05 for gas. Up down in Ohio, it's $3.48 here. Glad I got it before I left. So me and the wife are going to see East tomorrow. Utah Tech. She's over on the east. Did I go out for a second? Or just live.
Who knows if you let her one first? Shows maybe calling off there.
Central dispatch on the air for Exeter Fire with a field fire 12290 Martinsville, 12290 Martinsville, process bay in Schofield, Carlton. The caller states there are wood and leaves on fire 100 feet from a structure. Timeout 12:28.
Half of these fucking, they call them brush fires, are just people burning their
In
leaves.
your traffic at 12:28.
I don't burn my leaves. I try and chop them up as much as possible with the mower and turn them into mulch. It's good for the grass, especially when you have the big dogs I have. My wife just sent me a good thumbnail I'm going to use for my desktop stream when I get to the office.
Go ahead.
Will you have LMR come for assist on that, please?
Okay. Central dispatch on the air for Elmar Fire with an assist to Exeter for field fire 12290 Martinsville, 12290 Martinsville, process bay in Schofield, Carlton. Woods and leaves are on fire about 100 feet from a structure. Timeout 12:29.
I have to use a tractor, but yeah. I did it last week. I chopped up quite a bit of them. You did the lawn right now, you couldn't even tell I did it. Lawn looked great for a few days. Now it's covered in leaves again. The maple tree out front, that thing takes forever to drop its leaves. It's just now starting to do it. So all of our landscaping and our little bushes in the front of the house, I literally got to blow those out every couple of days. It's good winter bedding for them, but they'll survive anyway.
That's on the Station 2. An illegal burn in the area of Brookhaven and Smith. Brookhaven and Smith. Check the dead end of Brookhaven for a large pile of leaves burning. Caller thinks the area is very smoky. I'm out closer.
No, instead, they want you to rake them all out to the end of your driveway. I'm so glad it's not zoned where I'm at. The only thing that sucks is I got to pay taxes to the village of my address, but I don't get any services from them. Isn't that taxation without representation? Oh yeah, I'm sure. Sure, that self-propelled makes it easy. Easier anyway. What up, Brown? Oh, you're just walking over there. Okay. Oh, look at that. He's got a champagne pinkish colored scooter.
5873, you can claim your things first.
Looks like a cop's in there.
Brush you with the camera. Super brush you on Bedford, go ahead. You can stand by. Clear.
Oh man, that windshield's dirty, ain't it? I should have cleaned it when I got gas. Didn't notice it till we were up in the sun there. Or had that wall in the back to be able to see it. Yeah, later. Yeah, believe me, I know. I've stood up in the morning and stretched and then fell to the ground. All right, guys, I will set up a desktop stream on hopefully by the top of the hour. Unless I run into some hiccups or some fires that I need to put out. Love you guys. Thanks for riding with me. I appreciate the company. Peace.